The Little Match Girl's Christmas Miracle. Once upon a time, in a snowy town blanketed with frost, there lived a little girl named Evelyn. The townsfolk called her the Little Match Girl, for she walked the cobbled streets each day, selling matches to help her family. With her worn-out shoes and tattered coat, Evelyn ventured out on Christmas Eve, her heart full of hope despite the chill in the air. As she wandered through the lively streets, holiday lights glowed warmly in shop windows, and the laughter of families filled the night. But as Evelyn clutched her box of matches, the people hurried past, too engrossed in their own holiday festivities to notice the little girl. She whispered softly, "Matches for sale. Please buy a match," but her voice was lost in the bustling crowd. Hours passed, and Evelyn's hands grew colder, her cheeks rosy from the biting wind. Feeling defeated and weary, she found a small corner in a quiet alley and sat down to rest. The wind howled around her, and Evelyn's small frame shivered from head to toe. To bring herself a bit of warmth, she took out a single match and struck it against the wall. As the match burst into a golden flame, a magical warmth surrounded her. In its light, Evelyn's imagination painted a beautiful picture before her eyes. She saw a grand dining table filled with delicious foods, a feast of roasted vegetables, golden pies, and steaming soups. She could almost taste the flavors as laughter and joy filled the air around her. But just as she reached out, the flame flickered out and the vision vanished, leaving her alone in the cold once more. Undeterred, Evelyn struck another match. This time, she saw a cozy room with a crackling fireplace. The warmth radiated out to her, and she felt as if she could curl up by the fire, safe and snug. She closed her eyes, savoring the warmth, but then the flame died and the cold returned, sharper than before. One by one, Evelyn lit her matches, each one revealing magical scenes of joy and warmth, a twinkling Christmas tree, presents wrapped in colorful paper, and children laughing with delight. In each flicker of light, Evelyn saw a life she could only dream of. But with each extinguished match, the images faded, leaving her alone in the dim alley. At last, with only one match left, Evelyn hesitated. She wanted to keep this final match, her last bit of warmth, but a sense of hope stirred inside her. She struck it, and the flames sprang to life, brighter than any before. This time, the light revealed her grandmother, her only relative who had ever shown her love and kindness. Her grandmother's gentle face glowed in the light, her smile as warm as a summer breeze. "Grandmother," Evelyn whispered, her heart aching. She reached out, and to her surprise, her grandmother's image did not vanish. Instead, it grew warmer, filling the alley with a gentle glow. Evelyn felt a warmth she had never known, like a hug wrapped around her heart. She closed her eyes, comforted by her grandmother's presence. Just then, a kind woman passing by noticed the little girl curled up in the corner. She hurried over, bringing a warm blanket and a gentle touch. Wrapping the blanket around Evelyn, she lifted her up and whispered, "You're not alone, my dear. Come with me." Evelyn opened her eyes, feeling the real warmth of the blanket and the caring arms of the woman who had found her. The vision of her grandmother faded, but Evelyn knew she was safe. The woman brought her home, where a fire crackled, and the smell of fresh bread filled the air. For the first time, Evelyn felt truly loved and cared for. Word of the Little Match Girl spread through the town, and the people who had once overlooked her now came together. They brought food, warm clothes, and gifts for her family, filling their small home with the spirit of Christmas. Neighbors who barely knew each other came forward, united by the desire to help. Evelyn's mother, overwhelmed by the kindness of the townspeople, hugged her daughter tightly, tears of gratitude in her eyes. Evelyn, once cold and lonely, now felt the warmth of a true family and community. From that Christmas on, the people of the town remembered the Little Match Girl and her story. Every year, they made sure that no child or family would ever be left alone on a cold winter's night. They knew now that the magic of Christmas wasn't in the lights or the gifts, but in the kindness they shared with one another. Evelyn grew up, carrying with her the lessons of love and compassion that she had learned. She became a beacon of kindness herself, always helping those in need and reminding everyone that true magic lies in the warmth of caring hearts. And so, the town remained a place where the spirit of the little match girl lived on, forever lighting the hearts of those who chose kindness. The end.